All right, sweet. So some of you guys would have seen this model before. It's, very common, right? It comes from NLP. I've put like my spin on a few things, but essentially this is just how you are processing information from the world. And now when you understand, as you are already understanding, that your information, the data that you take on board from the world is the experience that you're going to have of it, correct? So your experience is happening outside of you and it comes into you through your five senses. You see, hear, feel, taste, and smell. That's a pretty cool thing to know, because when you think about that, if you want to influence the information within your mind, how do you influence it? What you see, what you hear, what you feel, what you taste, and what you smell. Now, all this information comes in, but if you took on all the information that was coming in, you'd probably just pass out and drop dead. So that's probably not a good strategy to have. So your unconscious mind and your guard, all right, your guard starts to delete, distort, and generalize the information. Because if you took on everything, it would just be way too much. You wouldn't be able to process anything. So you delete information, you distort information, and you generalize it. This is why sometimes with people, if they've got a so-called problem, challenge, or an issue with money, they will not see opportunities to earn more money, to make more money, to keep more money. They'll delete the information. Or they'll distort it. Someone will be like, oh my God, I got this really great opportunity. And for whatever reason, the person, they don't really even hear, I've got an opportunity. They distort it. Oh, I didn't think that they were talking directly about me. It's like, yeah, and we've all done that because it's right in front of our face, right? It's right in front of our face all the time. Or they generalize it. Yeah, but everyone's got like money issues. Everyone's struggling at the moment. The economy's really bad. So, but that's a generalization from the individual. Now, after these generalizations, the distortions, the deletions, the information's still got to trickle down. And it goes through your sub-filters of your values and your beliefs. Your values are what you, the things that are important to you. They're not the things that you think are important. I'm going to repeat that again. Your values are the things that are actually important to you. Your values are not the things that you think are important. Perfect example. A lot of people say, oh, my values are family. How's your family life going? Up the shit and I never see them. I can guarantee your values are not family. Why? Because the things that you truly value, you already have. And most people value things like safety, comfort, stability. They don't necessarily value growth and, bloody expansion and all those sorts of things, because 9 times out of 10, it fucking sucks. You got to do a whole bunch of stuff that you've never done before, and you've got to do that while trying to maintain some form of life. Okay, so your beliefs are just the things that you're 100% certain on. The things that you've bought into. Memories from the past. You think about any time you do something, the data, the information gets filtered through your memories from the past. You say, yeah, but that's never going to work out. Oh, I've got this opportunity for you to come and talk to 25 people, and all of them want to have some form of help in some way, shape, or form. Pretty good opportunity, right? Especially if you've got a program that's $2,000, $5,000, whatever it might be. Fuck, you only need 2 or 3 people out of that group and you're laughing. But if someone's memories from the past, as in they've done something like that, in the past and it didn't work out, then they might be like, oh, I'm not going to do it because it didn't work out last time. Last time is very different than this time. But if you kept on recycling those memories from the past, then you never get out of that loop and you keep creating the past and you keep living the past, which is even, more frustrating and more depressing really, because you're like, man, I just can't get out of this loop. What is going on here? Well, that's what's going on. But then you've got time, space, and matter. You think about this, right? You've got goals, you've got aspirations, desires, things that you want to do. If you move the time frame on those goals, on the things that you truly want, how does it make you feel inwardly. Does it change? Is there more urgency to do the things the closer you bring it? Yeah, there is, right? It's like if everyone got an email today and said, hey, I hate to tell you this, but in a week's time, you're going to drop dead. Fucking guarantee you we'd probably all be doing things very differently. And that's a weird thing to think about. I've actually spent a lot of times thinking about that. But if you spend your life living that way, then that's what you focus on. But it's still very empowering because sometimes people will come in and their problems, their challenges, their goals, the things that they are struggling with is going to come from time, space, or matter. They might have had a goal that is 5 years past a use-by date and they're beating themselves up every single day. What if that goal took them 30 or 40 years to actually create? And they thought, oh, it should only take me 5. It's like that's going to cause a lot of problems. Hugely. What about the strategies and the language that people have? That's going to influence the way they think, feel, and act, right? The language that you use is going to be the life that you experience. The strategies in order to get a specific result is going to play out a massive, massive influence within your life. Because if something doesn't happen the way that you want it to be and you've got no strategies to cope with that, well, you're going to have to experience that thing for probably quite a long time. And it'll probably actually get to the point where you detach from it, you disassociate from it, and it's still stored at the unconscious level. It still acts out in your everyday life, but you're not aware of it. And then the victim mentality comes out. Why is this always happening to me? Why can't I get ahead in life? And we start to beat ourselves up, right? It's a vicious cycle. The mission and the purpose. Some people don't even have a mission or have a purpose of what it is that they're doing. And it's not necessarily something that they need to find. I don't know if you're going through this within your own life. I know that I did for a very long time. Your mission and your purpose is something you create. From my point of view so far along this path, rather than trying to seek it, why not create it? All of these things end up to be an internal picture within your own mind. Now, that internal picture is going to create a certain feeling or a state within your life. This is really powerful, right? Your feeling or your state is going to then influence the physical body and the physical plane. Then the physical plane, what you do, will then influence the way that you feel, the state that you're in, and then will go back and reinforce the picture that you have within your mind. Now, that cycle is going to be evolution, going up, as in working in your favor, or it's going to be regression and going down and so-called working against you. It's like the old saying, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Wonder why that is. Because I can guarantee you the way that they think, feel, and act is very, very different. What they focus on is very, very different. Now, all of these things being accounted for, that will now pop out a action or an outcome within the person's life. And 9 times out of 10, people are very aware of the actions and the outcomes that they're getting within their life. So, in saying all of this, when you change one aspect of the system, you change every aspect of the system. So if you change the way that they use their physical body, do you influence the whole system? The answer is yes, hugely. But it takes a lot of work to do things in the physical world, doesn't it? Because in order to move my body, I've obviously got to do things. And if I wanted to get this to you, I'm going to have to post it to you. It's going to take time. It's got to go through space, and it's made up of matter. So you can do it, but it's a lot harder. Now, if I wanted to send you this within my mind, it's a lot easier. Straight there. Now I'm looking at you, holding the thing, saying, thanks, Luke, I got it. So when you change the mental, you change the emotional, it's a much less forceful kind of change. Obviously, that's why we work in the game of change. So this is why when you see people that only work on like a physical level, when they help people change their behaviors and they help people change their environment, they will get change, but it may not last for very long. But when you help people change the way that they think and feel, you change their identity, you change their perceptions and your meanings on pretty much what they're doing, you flip their world upside down.